Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the new videos I upload. Today we are looking at 10 tips to make a long-distance relationship work. It would seem that maintaining a long-distance relationship would be simpler than ever before in the era of texting and Skyping. No longer must a long-distance couple wait impatiently for a letter with news that is at most 4 days old, pinning all their hopes on mail service. Why? The time of having to wait for your loved one to sit down with their computer and check email is long gone. Nowadays, prompt reactions are practically required. But long-distance couples would tell you that technology can't compensate for everything. Numerous long-distance relationships still seem to be as emotionally challenging as ever due to the lack of consistent physical presence. The good news is that research has shown that, at worst, the quality of long-distance relationships is not considerably different from those with tight geographic proximity, and in certain situations, it may even be better. Will yours last? What distinguishes them? Fortunately, there are specific factors to take into account that will raise your chances of finding a fulfilling relationship. Here are some things to remember. One. Prioritize your schedules well. Even the best-intentioned couples sometimes struggle to find time to communicate with one another due to conflicting work or school schedules, sleep preferences, and time zones. Even when it turns out that the pattern doesn't work especially well for one or both of them, a couple might frequently fall into a rut due to inertia. When are you most effective? When can you have a quiet, unhurried conversation? What do you think of impromptu texts? Whose schedule is more adaptable? Who should make the first contact? Do you prefer to stick to a certain time or should it change daily? As long as they feel pleasing to both parties, there is no restriction on the types of communication arrangements that can be effective. Who should make the first contact? Do you prefer to stick to a certain time or should it change daily? As long as they feel pleasing to both parties, there is no restriction on the types of communication arrangements that can be effective. Be careful to select a rhythm that suits you so that resentment and irritation don't fester after getting stuck in a routine that doesn't seem comfortable or encouraging. 2. Make sure your goals, and potential endgames, are in the same ballpark. Research generally demonstrates that when long-distance relationships are viewed as temporary, they are more fulfilling and less stressful. This makes intuitive sense since it is simpler to focus on the final goal and cooperate with others to endure the misery of being separated than it is to feel hopeless and as though nothing can be done. 3. Don't rely solely on technology. FaceTime, video conferencing, texting, and all the other technology advancements that have made it so much simpler to maintain real-time touch with a loved one are likely to be considered blessings by many long-distance couples. But let's not overlook the significance of having a physical reminder of your companion. Having a particular keepsake that represents your commitment, keeping a piece of clothing that still smells like your lover, or conspicuously placing a gift they gave you in your bedroom can all act as tangible reminders of their presence. 4. Focus on quality communication. Surprisingly, some studies suggest that couples who communicate over large distances may feel more pleased with their relationship than couples who live close by. When compared to couples that live close to one another, those in long-distance relationships are less able to communicate frequently, but they have the potential to match or even outperform them in terms of quality. Be aware that occasionally you'll need to be a little more careful with your words because you might not have the benefit of a facial expression or physical contact. In order to ensure that you express what you mean to say, be aware of the limitations of a phone call or even a Skype session. No matter how many states, or countries, separate you, you can ensure that the most crucial, intimacy-enhancing conversations are still being had by doing this. 5. Let the boring details become connection. Remember that prioritizing clear communication need not entail leaving out the specifics of your day. If you are unaware of your partner's everyday routine, it is simple to drift apart. Who do they chat with at lunch? Which podcasts do they now enjoy? For dinner, what have they been experimenting with? How did they redo their room's decor? Who at work has been making them irrational? 6. Don't overplan your time in person. When you are actually together in person, it frequently feels like there is no time to spend, which is one important way why long-distance relationships feel noticeably different from ones that are geographically close. But there may be two sides to this. Yes, it might prevent arguments over who forgot to change the toilet paper roll, but it might also lead you to give in to the impulse to fill your time together with so many activities that it stresses out one or both of you. You must keep in mind that closeness in a relationship can be developed in both tiny and large moments, such as impromptu movie nights on the sofa, playing tourist and visiting local attractions, or discovering the hottest eateries. Make sure to allow time for breathing during your times together. Time spent relaxing is not time squandered, on the contrary, it helps you both breathe and connect. 7. Don't put your life on hold. Without a doubt, long-distance relationships necessitate some compromise. But it's crucial to be careful not to make more sacrifices than required, as doing so might eventually lead to anger and regret. This is particularly dangerous when the long-distance component of the relationship is meant to last only a short while but needs to be extended unanticipatedly longer, whether because of a military deployment, employment difficulties, or unexpected financial losses. In many situations, one spouse may have put off or even avoided spending time pursuing local friendships, interests, or hobbies because they didn't think it was worthwhile. Now that the couple has been together for a few years, they wish they had at least been living more fully in the interim. 8. Reframe the situation as a positive, and believe in it. Given the benefits of some long-distance relationships, it might make sense to celebrate your circumstance as something that, despite its drawbacks, can be advantageous. Additionally, if you can both remind yourselves of the ways that being apart can heighten your appreciation for one another, you may feel more optimistic about what the distance may offer as a result. All types of challenging life circumstances can benefit from cognitive reframing since it can give us a sense of control and hope. Relationships over long distances are no different. Try to shift your attention from how unfortunate it is that you couldn't share a home to how this issue can make you two more closer. 9. Know the difference between checking in and checking up on. And this gets us to the main problem in many long-distance relationships, the lack of true knowledge about what your spouse is doing on a daily basis. Do you worry that out of sight, out of mind applies to you? Or do you firmly feel that time spent apart makes a relationship stronger? You can give yourself a break and recognize that it's completely common for long-distance relationships to be accompanied by slightly higher concerns about infidelity than geographically close ones. Connect whenever you feel the need to. Call your partner whenever you want to hear their voice. Ask a question when you wish to text one. However, avoid playing detective games. Your spouse will recognize how intrusive your questions are and won't feel welcome. The more you can accept the fact that you have made the leap of faith necessary to be in a long-distance relationship and that you just cannot know with certainty what they are doing during the day, the better off you will be. 10. Let yourself trust, and earn that trust yourself. This takes us to one of the most crucial components of every lasting relationship: trust. Building and maintaining trust requires effort on both sides. Earning it is just as crucial as having it in your partner. And before you believe this is simply about the possibility of sexual infidelity, it's crucial to keep in mind that trust issues may damage a relationship in a variety of ways, even when they don't involve a romantic relationship.
Do they honor their commitment to travel to visit you, or do they frequently reschedule the date because they were too busy at work? Does each new conversation feel distinct, or do they remember what's important to you and listen in ways that make you feel heard and understood? Thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to do so you won't miss any of our new videos. Click the subscribe button and notification bell to receive updates.